Welcome to Crackers and Milk. This is your host, David. I am joined by Michael and Jacob. Today,
Where's Jake? I don't see him.
Oh. Jake is on the phone.
Oh, hey.
So we're happy to have all of them here tonight. Due to the restrictions of things, Jake is unable to make it in person. But we're grateful for him to be online and to talk with us. Our movie that we are going to talk about was Clueless, 1995, with Alicia Silverstone, Stacey Dash, Brittany Murphy, and Paul Rudd in this movie. And Jake has our synopsis.
Shallow, rich, and socially successful Cher is at the top of her Beverly Hills High School's pecking scale. Seeing herself as a matchmaker, Cher first coaxes two teachers into dating each other. Emboldened by her success, she decides to give helplessly klutzy new student Ty a makeover. When Ty becomes more popular than she is, Cher realizes that her disapproving ex-stepbrother was right about how misguided she was and falls for him.
The one thing I didn't realize is that this movie is based on Emma.
You didn't realize that?
I didn't realize that until they said that it was based on Emma. I was like, "What? Huh.
What?"
Well, I've never read the book, and
Well, neither have I. I've never seen the movie. I still knew this was based on Emma.
Yeah, see, like Olivia's been trying to get me to watch Emma and all that stuff, and I've watched Pride and Prejudice, but that's the only one that I was being willing to watch because it was done so well, you know. So, yeah. My bad. I kind of feel dumb with it. So what did you think of the chemistry between Cher and Paul Rudd, or Josh?
No, I thought it was good.
Yeah. Did you think that Stacey Dash, Brittany Murphy, do you think they all worked really well together?
I thought... Well, how about you go, Mike?
Well, yeah, for me, I just watching the movie. They portrayed who they are real well. Rich, snobby kids, or the skaters. I mean, they went over the top. I love how even when Alicia is talking about, why are boys the way they are? Why do they have to wear... They look like they just got out of bed and they put on these baggy pants and they have greasy hair. I think for 1995, they portrayed it very, very well. I think the characters did a great job. Mm-hmm. It was believable to me that this is how high school was, but not really, because I think as a kid, well, in 1995, that's how, if I had watched this when I was a kid, I would have been like, oh, wow, high school is going to be crazy.
Yeah.
But it was just over the top, which is fine.
Yeah.
I thought the characters were really good.
Yeah.
I enjoyed each one of them. They played their part perfectly. I don't think they could have done any better. I liked it so much.
I would agree with that. Like, I think Cher or Alicia Silverstone definitely, with the whatever, with the W and all that stuff, like, it works so well where it just became iconic for her. Like, when I see her today, it's like, you were Batgirl at one point. But you're not Batgirl. You're Cher. You're Clueless.
You're Clueless.
You're in that group. And Stacey Dash, same thing. Like Stacey Dash, she was just in Clueless.
Yeah.
And then her boyfriend, I know him as Petey and and then Turk.
Yeah.
I always think of him as Turk.
Yep, Turk.
In Scrubs.
Yep.
And he does such a good job. And like, I felt that it wasn't dated very much. Like, the phones were definitely dated. The Ethan with CDs. Like, I gotta go get my CD. Sure. But, like, kids today, like, when you're a teacher and you don't engage your students, because I'm a high school teacher, oh my goodness, they're on that phone. It's like, okay, I'm on my phone. I want to do whatever I want to do. And so it's like, I can totally get that. I know they're exaggerating the teacher's incompetence, but it's like, yep, nope, I get it. I'm going to call you. I'm going to call you. I'm going to call you, and I'm going to talk to you. And, like, it was really weird because we're so used to text now.
Yeah.
Where we can text somebody, and they had to call somebody on the phone. It was like...
The pagers.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah, pagers.
Oh, my goodness. It's like, wow. It's so, like, that... The technology is definitely dated, but at the same time, how kids are doing, like, what... people imagine high school kids are. That's not dated at all. That's like, oh yeah, that could be today.
Oh, that's today. Yep.
Yeah.
That's totally today.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
What did you think about the characters then, Jake?
Oh, I thought that she had very good chemistry with Paul Rudd.
Oh yeah.
But I think the chemistry between her friends was better.
Oh, way better.
Oh, yeah.
Way better.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, her and Dion and Ty.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
But we became friends because we're so much better than everybody else, and we're named after famous singers of the past who now do infomercials.
Now, Jake, let's just say you watched the movie for the first time today. Let's just say that you just watched it. How old would you say? How old would you say Cher is in this movie? Like, what grade is she? Is she a sophomore, freshman, junior?
She would have to be either a freshman or a sophomore.
Okay.
Is it just because they said that her age and she's learning how to drive, or is it because like that's how she looked?
Because she only has her learner's permit.
Yeah.
And yeah, she does look pretty young in this. I recently saw a Diary of the Wimpy Kid, The Long Haul.
Yeah.
In which she plays the mom.
Yeah.
Yeah, she looks like a mom now.
Oh. She looks like a mom now. Yeah, she acted older than she appeared to me. Like, she may have looked young, but to me, she's like, oh wow, she's doing all these things. I thought she was a senior. Especially, I'm dating a college guy. Oh wait, what the heck? What's going on? What is going on? Like, the only thing gives it away, yes, is the driving. But if there was no driving, she just seems like a senior ready to graduate.
Yeah, but at the end of the movie, she said, when it's like, well, this is what happened next. And it goes to a wedding, and she's like, as if I'm 16.
Yeah.
And I think
I am only 16, and this is California, not Kentucky.
Not Kentucky.
That was funny. I thought what was crazy too with the technology too is, I think with Cher, her age, it was at times she did seem a bit older because I think they wrote her a little wise beyond her years.
Yeah,
because she was
She was the woman of the house.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's right. Oh, yeah, her dad explained that to her on the couch.
Yeah.
Who takes care of this family? You take care of this family.
Mm-hmm. She forces him to eat healthy. She forces him to do a lot of stuff that he doesn't want to do. And she is definitely better, like an older person. Because, like, at the time when Brittany Murphy kind of takes over for her as a popular person, Dee asks Brittany Murphy for advice, and she's like,
not her.
Wait, why aren't you asking me for it? And then she realizes, she comes to that realization, what am I doing?
Yep.
This is terrible. I'm doing this. This is just terrible for me.
Yeah.
Exactly. And she wants to give herself a makeover, but not on the outside, on the inside.
Yeah.
Yep. It really is. My dad, he has like top 5 shows, whatever, top 5 movies. Clueless is like one of his number ones. This is his.
Really?
He just loves it. He thinks it's so funny. It's fun. When somebody loves something and laughs at everything.
Yeah.
Watching this movie with him is so funny because he laughs, and I'm like, wait, what was so funny? But he just loves Clueless. And it's fun. It's fun to sit in the room with him when you watch Clueless with him.
Yeah.
Well, what spoke to you guys about the movie? Like, what else spoke to you, or what did it bring up? The music. Were those the Mighty Mighty Bosstones that were at that dance?
Those were the Mighty Mighty Bosstones.
Oh, I thought so. I'm like, man, those sound like the Mighty Mighty Bosstones. But one thing that spoke to me about it was how she got her grades changed. I really like that interaction with her dad. He's like, "Where's your report card?" "Oh, I'm not done yet." And he's like, "What do you mean?" "Well, this is the first."
This is like the first draft.
Yeah.
They're giving me an opportunity to raise them.
Yeah, and you always told me never settle.
That's right.
Or never take the first offer.
That's right.
So I'm going to go. And then, that's the whole reason that she got the 2 teachers together.
Yep.
Because they needed to have marital relations.
Yeah, so that they could be nicer to
Well, they
the
needed
students.
to be happy. They needed to be happy.
They need to be happy.
And that Dave, they just started dating. They weren't doing the nasty.
I know they weren't doing the nasty, but she said needs to do the nasty. That's what she was implying, so he can be happy.
I love how smart she is. I mean, she really is smart. It says, the title is misleading that she's clueless.
Yeah.
But she's a pretty smart girl. She knows what she's doing. She knows how to get what she needs. And I love, she of course likes Josh. She doesn't realize that till the end, and then she looks back and, oh wow, I liked him this whole time, and da 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 da, and through the whole movie she progresses and everything changes, but the way that she progresses is just so funny. The realization she has, and it's really good. I mean, to go with that, my first best line was the Haitians instead of the Haitians. She can't even say Haitians, right? Which I love. The Haitians, they need to come to our country. And then she compares it to a kitchen and the government to a kit, like whatever. She goes on that whole thing, and but then she gets into the Pismo Beach disaster relief, and she goes all out.
She's the captain.
She's the captain. I love it when she's cleaning everything out, and her dad is, "What are you doing?" "I'm the captain." "I don't think they need your skis." "Daddy, some people lost all their belongings. Don't you think that includes athletic equipment?" That's what's so great. Everything that she does in the movie is progressing, but so funny.
Yes.
I like when Christian comes to get her for the date, and Cher's dad's like, "What are you wearing? A dress? According to who? Calvin Klein." "Dad, it looks like underwear."
Yep. Oh, I love it.
Put something over it, and she's like, "Oh, Dad, I was going to," and then she puts that sheer thing over it.
Yeah. And I love it because, I mean, sure, okay, she's clueless about Christian being gay, right? But I think it's funny when her dad is, I have a revolver, and I wouldn't, nobody would miss you.
A revolver. I have a gun and a shovel.
Yep, that's right. And I think it's funny because his Christian's response is like, "What are you talking about?" Kind of like in his, "What are you talking about?" Like, "I don't even like your daughter like that. That's we're going shopping."
One of the things that I like what you put, Amber, when it goes, "Mrs. Stoger, my plastic surgeon doesn't want me to do any activity where balls play on my nose." Well, there goes your social life. Dion says that, you're like, Oh my gosh. You're the tramp. You are the tramp
That
of
is
the
so
skull.
funny.
Oh man.
And then one of the other ones that you put on there, like with Cher, where it's like, Cher, we got another notice from the fire department
Oh, I
saying
love
we
it.
have to clear out the bush. You said you were going to ask Jose to do it. He's your gardener. Why don't you tell him? Lucy, you know I don't speak Mexican. I'm not Mexican. Cher, great. What was that all about? Lucy's from El Salvador.
So?
It's an entirely different country.
What does that matter?
You get upset if someone thinks you live below sunset.
I love that. And you know, that's so true though. We're even now, I mean, I think we've talked about this on the podcast before, is East Siders and West Siders.
Oh
and
my goodness.
if you tell, I still think it's funny. For me, I grew up on 5800 West, so I was way out in the middle of nowhere. And so to me, Sheena and Jake, they're East Siders, and to Sheena, she's not an East Sider. She's like, no, the East Siders are farther up the hill. I'm like, wait, no, you're on 700 East. That's East Side.
That's
Nope.
East Side.
No, it's not. Oh, okay.
To me, that would be East Side. Like I live on 12th West, and 12th West is West Side.
Yeah.
And I remember one time Jake told me, or I think somebody said, "No, you're not West Side. You're East Side." And then they said, "Well, it's like Redwood Road."
Redwood Road is the dividing line.
I'm still white trash. I still say that I'm white trash. My family hates that I say that because it's like we were white trash.
No, you weren't, Dave.
No. We were because we didn't have a backyard for years. So it's like
that doesn't make you white trash.
It does. If you
Dave, you're not a redneck.
Not a redneck, but still white trash. Because if you have I think at one point we had a non-working vehicle in our driveway, so I think that classifies it as white trash.
No, it doesn't, Dave.
I don't mind it. I think it's funny, but others don't.
But that's what's so funny.
I agree with your family. I hate when you say that.
And that's what's so funny. I don't understand California, and if you live below Sunset, but that's what she's probably thinking. You know, how dare they think I live below Sunset?
Yeah.
Jerks. What does it matter if you're Mexico, El Salvador? You speak Spanish, but I love you speak Mexican. Oh. You know, that actually is kind of funny because Mexican is, you know, it's a different dialect than El Salvadorians and Spaniards and Argentinians. And so when she said, "Oh, you speak Mexican," I just died. Did she just say that?
Oh, man. Oh, so funny. But yeah, this movie, like, I feel like I think the movies that we've talked about recently with My Best Friend's Wedding, Enchanted, and this movie, they have this type of classical, like there's classical things in it, so it doesn't get too old.
Yeah.
It's still a little bit
true.
silly. It does get a little bit like, okay, this is a little weird, but like you get it where the stoner kid who brings in his things, he has like 2 bongs, and she's like, kitchenware? And he's like, yeah, that's where
what I was thinking. Yeah.
Breckenmeyer's a pretty funny guy.
Way good. He was perfect in this, I think.
Oh yeah. And like Brittany Murphy, and her passing away a little while ago, like it's interesting to see her in one of her early roles, and how well she did in this one, and I can understand why she took off to what she was.
Oh yeah.
Later, she definitely became, out of all of them in that movie. You have Breckenmeyer, who did other things, Paul Rudd, of course. And then you have Brittany Murphy. Alicia Silverstone, sure, she did some things, but the timeless people were Brecken and Paul Rudd and Brittany Murphy. They were a little bit more, they did a little bit more outside where there was a little bit more recognition. But Alicia, she did do Batgirl. But I would say that
she made some bad choices for movies.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And so her popularity waned.
Yeah.
But, I mean, she was the main villain in Scooby-Doo 2, Monsters Unleashed.
True on that one.
So what does that tell you about her choices of movies?
Yeah. And then you had Paul Rudd as Ant-Man and Breckin Miller as... yeah. He's done a lot. But he's done good.
He's done quite a bit.
Yeah.
I can't name many movies he's in.
Well,
but
he did Robot Chicken. He's done Robot Chicken. Him and Seth Green do Robot Chicken, so...
Yeah.
He's
mainly
done that
what I
one.
recognize him from his TV. So.
Yeah. I could see that. I could definitely see that. Is there any other lines, favorite parts about this movie?
I love it when Dee is doing the driving lesson with their boyfriend, right? Mm-hmm. And it's great because he's all calm and he's confident. He's like, "You got to stay on the left. Why are you over here? You know, you got to do this. Da, 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 da. You're getting on the freeway?" And then he loses it, right? But he's still trying to stay calm. Okay. Then she's freaking out, and when that semi comes behind, he turns around and he starts screaming. It's so great. And I think it's way funny to me because that is kind of how I felt when I got on the freeway when I was in driver's ed. Like, I get on the freeway, and I did some of the mistakes that she does. That's why I think it's so funny, is my driver's instructor, he was like, "Okay, blinker on." Okay, I turned my blinker on. He's like, "Check your spine spot," and I do, but when I do, my arms turn with it, so I'm just merging, and he's like, "Why are you getting into the lane?" I'm like, "I'm checking my blind spot." He's like, "You're also getting into the lane."
So when I was in driver's ed and I had to do the freeway thing, the instructor goes, "Gun it." I gunned it. I started going like 80, and this is the time when it was good 60 miles per hour. And he's like, "What are you doing?" I was like, "You told me to gun it."
I love it.
I do like Cher's driving test too.
Oh,
She's in the middle of the road. He's like, "No, you need to get over to one lane." She gets over and she just kind of goes over. She wrecks the car.
Sideswipes that car.
And then she was gonna hit the guy on the bike. And then they're like, he's like, "Hey, pull over." Pulls over. And she's like, "Oh, did I pass?" You almost killed somebody.
Yep.
You hit this thing. You hit this. No, you failed. What?
Is there somebody I could talk to, like a supervisor? Like, "I'm your messiah."
And she was so devastated that she didn't get her way on that. Just devastated. Oh, so funny. So funny with that.
Yeah.
So
this is a very funny movie.
That's way good.
One of my favorite parts is the beginning, and she goes, it's showing all the scenes of Beverly Hills teenagers, and she's like, "This is not a Noxzema commercial." And that's what those commercials were like in 1995.
It's so true. And then the thing that I kind of question about, one of the most, is Josh and Cher's relationship.
Okay.
She's 16. He's 19 to 20 at least.
Yeah.
It just feels a little weird. Just feels a little weird on that one.
Right, because he's coming over to her house just to learn how to be a lawyer with her dad.
Yeah.
But he likes her.
Yeah.
But yeah, isn't that statutory rape? If they're to get together?
If they do stuff.
I know, but that's what's so weird. Yes.
But, so...
It's still
if
weird.
She was 20 and he was 24, is it that big of a deal?
No. That's fine.
But 16, that's a bigger deal. That's a bigger deal, Jake.
he was very respectful of her.
He was.
Yeah.
I agree
yeah.
with that. But it's like, you know, I don't know.
I don't know. Like,
Sometimes I just don't see that. Like, I can see like a couple years, but
Well,
like
when
where
she's walking and thinking, and then she goes to the fountain, the light turns on. She's like, "I love Josh."
yeah.
And then it's showing all those things that he's been doing that whole time. I know this sounds bad, but I'm like, was he grooming her? Like, I've taken so many scouting and all these trainings on what to watch for with groomers. Don't be a groomer. I'm like, holy crap, he was grooming her. So,
No, he wasn't.
But I think that's the big thing is in '95 it wasn't widespread,
no.
right? So to me it's more that innocent, like when you first watched it, it's like, oh, this is kind of cool. It didn't hit you. But when you get older and how our society has been and has pointed things out and has been well more aware or tried to get more aware of things, the grooming and all that stuff, you can understand the paranoia behind it and the questioning of it, where it's like, it does seem like he was grooming a little bit, but at the same time he wasn't.
Guys.
In the movie.
Come on, Jake.
Hey, life changes, man. It's okay.
Hey.
We're learning.
Hey, no, I'm just telling you, that's not what he was doing.
He wasn't. I agree.
She was the woman of the house,
Yeah.
and if her father paid more attention, they probably wouldn't be dating.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
If my daughter, when she's 16, comes home with somebody who's 20 years old, there's going to be problems.
Yeah. That's
But
understandable.
in this movie, they had a prior relationship. They liked each other. They treated each other like friends.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So
I'm just saying, Jake, look, I get what you're saying, and I agree with you on that. 100% I agree with you on that. It's just how our society has changed from how it was innocent when the movie came out. Where it is innocent, that's how we should look at it when it came out. It's innocent. But because of what has happened in life...
It's a Noxzema commercial.
Yes, I know, but you have to tell yourself that when you're watching it. That it's a movie. In this movie, this was okay. So to me, it's like, that's what you have to tell yourself, convince yourself, or just be okay with it, because it doesn't matter. It's just a movie, really, basically.
It is just a movie, guys.
It is. I know.
This is just a movie?
I'm just pointing at, like, the reality of both of it, where it's our society, where we have changed the way we look at things from what it was now, or how we become more aware of stuff. We need to remember that when we watch this movie. Just, we've become more aware of things and what we're thinking, and we're going to have that cynical type of mindset at times when it comes to a movie. So, just be aware of that when you're watching the movie. It's still a great movie.
Yeah.
It's just, this is the question that you want to put out, like, wait, this is a weird part. But anyways, sorry.
And I don't want to beat a dead horse already, but if Paul Rudd was 17 and he was a senior, I would have thought nothing of it. Hey, I want to be a lawyer when I grow up. Your dad's a lawyer. I'm going to come over and hang out. And then I've been like, but that age, that's what gets me. I'm like, oh, why? That's weird, dude.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
That's all.
Yeah.
Well,
I get
guys.
that. Okay. Recommendations of this movie. What do you guys recommend?
Jake, I'm going to go with 5 years, just like you recommended on one of our previous movies. I don't want it to, that thing, the magic to go away, but I want to watch it.
Exactly. So when this movie first came out, and then we got our VHS copy of it, we watched it all the time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
All the time.
And then
That being said, this is the first time I've watched it since the 90s.
Wow.
So I would say every 5 years, just so you can keep it fresh, because the jokes are funny. This is one of the funnier movies we've covered. So,
and I like how that it's still relatable, and that's why you can watch it every 5 years, because 5 years from now, kids are going to be like that. That's that way. That's how they're going to be in 5 years, 10 years, 15 years.
Totally, and how things come back in style. Like, those clothes are coming a little bit back in style of what they wore and what we wear. So, and that was around the time me and Jake grew up, Mike too. So it's like that style comes back. I would say 5 to 7 too.
Yeah.
Again, just because it is the freshness. It is ageless for the most part, and people can ask you about some technology that is a little outdated, but other than that, like, it's a great movie. I think it's a really wonderful movie for us to watch.
Yep.
yeah.
Okay, thank you for joining. Please, we are on all podcasting format, or we're on most all podcasting formats. So please subscribe, rate, and leave a comment. Also, we're on YouTube. Come check out the videos. Mike does a great job with our YouTube videos. He does just great. So please come check us out. Thank you. We are Crackers and Milk, and have a great day.